I wasn't gonna do my makeup, but my skin kind of looks like shit, so let's do makeup in a story time. When I was 16, I started dating this 23-year-old guy. I normally dated older guys, and my parents knew about him and weren't concerned, so I wasn't really concerned about the whole predator thing. Eventually, I moved into his house with him, and everything was great. I was so happy. A little while later, I come home one day and I see a note on our door. The note read, "This is not your house. Get your stuff and leave today." I didn't know what to do, so I called my boyfriend immediately. I noticed there was an old man who was the neighbor, just kind of staring at me as I'm standing on the porch on the phone with my boyfriend. Turns out he was the one who left the note on our door. He started walking towards me and I instantly got scared. This is the time when he realized that I had no idea what was going on. And when he started explaining it to me, I had no idea what to believe. What he said to me truly caught me by surprise. Come back for part 2. Part 2. The man came over to me and basically explained that this wasn't my boyfriend's house. When I had first moved in, my boyfriend told me that it was his house that his aunt and uncle let him live in, that it was technically theirs, but they had no use for it, so they were letting him fix it up and live in it. What this neighbor told me was so different. Turns out it wasn't my boyfriend's aunt and uncle's house that he was fixing up for them. Turns out it was an older couple's house who'd been moved to a nursing facility, so they didn't live there anymore and no one was there to take care of the house, which is why it looked so run down. My boyfriend knew this and found a way to get in and convinced me that it was his house. Turns out we were squatters. If you don't know what a squatter is, basically it's just someone who lives in your house. Someone who's like homeless and just kind of like lives under your porch or in your attic or something. Someone who lives in a house that they don't actually own. Come back for part 3, there's even more. Part 3. So basically at this point we end up grabbing all of our stuff and we move into my parents' house. One night my friends invited me to a party and my boyfriend decided to stay at my parents' house and I went out to this party. Well, eventually at some point during the party the cops end up getting called. So I call my boyfriend to come and pick me up because I'm drunk. And a girl answers the phone. And little did I know, this man had a whole secret family behind my back. He had a whole child with a girl that he had been on and off with for probably about 4 years at this point. And while I was at this party, he was with her and their son. So at this point, I call my friend to come and pick me up from the party and take me home. I recruit my friends to help me when I get home to kick him out of the house. It wasn't a big deal to me that he had a kid. It was a big deal to me that he was still with the baby mom and didn't tell me. Come back for part 4, it gets even crazier. Alright, y'all. Part 4. So my friends and I get back to my house and we get up to my room and we start clearing out all of his stuff into trash bags. I'm cleaning out the top drawer of the dresser when I move some of his stuff and I find 4 loaded heroin syringes. I'm so shocked and so disgusted and taken aback. I never knew this man struggled with drug addiction. And to bring it into my house and hide it and not tell me is where I drew the line. I was planning on just keeping his stuff and letting him come and pick it up decently. But after finding the drugs, I wouldn't let him. I put all of his stuff at the end of the driveway and I told him he could pick it up whenever he wanted, but it looked like it was gonna rain. He came and got his stuff and I didn't hear from him for a couple weeks. But after him and his baby mom fell apart, he hit me up again. And me being the dumb 16-year-old, I went back. One more part, I swear, and then we're done. Part 5. So I end up taking him back like an idiot. And he asked me to come over to a friend's house where he's staying. So I go over and I notice immediately something's off. Turns out, he's high. And this was the first and only time he's ever hit me. I wanted to leave because I was scared and I was uncomfortable. I didn't know what he was gonna do when he was under the influence, but he didn't want me to leave. He said he was in the midst of like a panic attack or something and he needed me to ground him. We got in a huge disagreement and that's when he did it. This is what I left with. Some more minor details went down after that, but I haven't talked to him since. Please understand that if you're 16 years old and a guy who's in his mid-20s is interested in you, it's not because you're mature. It's because he's either a pedophile or he knows he can manipulate you and use you. Be safe and be kind. Know your worth.
I was at Walgreens and they